this is Patrick. Welcome to episode 6 of the Double ETF podcast, Everything Except the Football. I hope you guys are doing great. So today this is a bit of a special episode. We have a few guests, actually. Michael Bagford is back, and we also have Steve and Izzy from the Everything I Learned from Movies podcast. They were gracious enough to give some of their time to a nobody like me. I hope you like it. It was a nice conversation about James Bond movies. We talked about the upcoming No Time to Die movie. It's been delayed twice already. You have a bit of a short quiz at the end. Good fun, a good talk, good insight as well. I learned a couple of things. And also, around the 17th or 18th minute mark, someone, I think it's Steve, mentioned that Monica Bellucci plays in Skyfall. And then I think about it and I confirm, but that's not true. Monica Bellucci was Inspector. It was Berenice Marlowe who was in Skyfall. She was Severine, I think. And she kind of looked a little bit like Monica Bellucci, so I kind of understand the reasoning. So yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Michael Bagford, Steve and Izzy, and me about James Bond movies. Thanks. Alright, so welcome everyone to this new episode, special edition about James Bond movies. With me, I have Michael Bagford. Hi Mike, how are you?
Doing good.
Awesome. And we have additional guests. Today we have Steve and Izzy from the Everything I Learned from Movies podcast. So hi guys.
Hey everybody.
All right, so you're the new tenants, you're the new guests. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, our podcast, Everything I Learned from Movies, we talk about bad to questionable movies, which we typically end up loving, but sometimes not.
We justify terrible movies.
Pretty much. But we also have some great celebrity interviews and stuff we've had over the years. Just our love for film and even other things just kind of coming out. And we're on all the major podcatchers.
Yeah, we also review two good beers every episode.
Yes.
Steve and I are both BJCP certified beer judges, so we pretend we know what we're talking about.
Indeed, and we do it quite well. No.
Nice. And who would you consider your best interviews? Or maybe most famous people or something?
Oh, gee, we've talked
Michael Bagford.
Yeah, Michael Bagford's been on a couple of times.
Good answer. Sucking up to other guests, always a good call.
Get that right off the top. John C. McGinley we talked to.
Nice.
Thomas Jane, possibly the best Punisher. Just throwing that out there.
Yes.
Dana Gould. Alexandra Paul.
Little
Sven
Janet Varney.
Janet Varney. Nicolas Cage's stunt double and his brother and a couple of directors he's worked with.
We got a Coppola, guys.
Yeah. Jesus. No, that's pretty awesome. And how long have you been doing that podcast?
5 years coming up in February.
5 years, about 6 months before we got married.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Awesome. I had no idea. And so you guys are located in Utah, right?
Correct.
We are.
Okay. And, you don't have to give me any insider information, but how were you able to get guys like John C. McGinley and Thomas Jane on your pod?
Pestering their publicists mostly. It's just reaching out to them, they have various websites and stuff like that. Just kind of reaching out hey, we have a podcast. We really like to talk to you. We're huge fans, that kind of stuff.
Through email, Twitter, and Instagram.
That's right.
Nice.
Honestly, we really, really lucked out. And Steve's childhood hero is Fennel Thorson. And if you think you don't know who he is, false, you do know who he is. He's the guy with the beard who's in every single Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. He's also Tigress from Gladiator.
Yep. And I just reached out to him on Facebook, and he was living in, lives in Spain or something now. He's 70, so he's retired.
Yeah, he's a chain of Dutch gyms and
Danish.
I apologize, Danish gyms. And
and then he just responded talk to my manager, who also happened to be his wife, and we set it up.
Yeah, and then other people were like, "Holy cow, you got an inside guy, an industry guy? Yeah, we'll jump on your podcast." So we lucked out with our first interview, and gratefully that led to many, many more.
Yeah, very nice. I applaud that. Being persistent leads to good things. So, okay, so today's topic, James Bond movies. Michael, I'll go back to you. I guess the thing in our minds right now when it comes to James Bond is the movie No Time to Die being pushed back twice. Tell us your impressions about that. I guess it had to be expected, but were you still disappointed, or are you? How much are you looking forward to that movie?
I'm still very looking forward to the movie. It's just been pushed back and pushed back so much. I've been calling it the Chinese democracy of James Bond movies.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I think right now the current release date will be early April of next year, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So both Michael and Steve and Izzy, would you rather wait to see it in theaters or would you rather pay extra to see it on streaming?
Oh, pay extra to see it on streaming.
Yeah, I'll see it on streaming.
Yeah.
I've been saying it since last year. Like, if it's like something, the thing is, something like James Bond, you know, what's it normally like $20 or whatever now? If you were say like, hey, we're releasing streaming, it's going to be $30, I'm in. $40, probably still in. $50 is where I'd probably start questioning it, or like, I can wait till it comes out on video or in theaters or something. But I've been saying it for No Time to Die, Fast 9, all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you put I bought Jiu-Jitsu sight unseen. Damn. Spoiler alert. Wasn't as good as my imagination, but still pretty good.
That's some dedication.
Yeah.
That's some dedication right there.
Nicolas Cage versus alien kung fu fighters. I'm in.
Yeah, with Tommy Jaw.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, did you watch it in preparation for your interview with Nicolas Cage or something? Or is
I mean, we wish. We've actually directed the main star, Elaine Moosey. He was one of the guys we've interviewed in the past, and he's fantastic.
He is.
Fortunately, they kind of did him wrong in that movie.
The script of this movie really does not showcase all of his acting talents, but the stunts are phenomenal.
Yeah,
if you love really good stunt work, guys, this has amazing fight scenes. And from our interview with Elaine Moosey, we found out like he doesn't do fight scenes that are half speed. Like, they do real hits.
Yeah.
Because he thinks it looks better on screen. Like, he took a full-on punch from Mike Tyson for Kickboxer Retaliation.
Yep, that's the one.
Jesus. I mean, you mentioned good action movies. I think my favorite one from recent years would be The Raid 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to beat.
Yeah, and shit, I saw on Netflix recently, The Night Comes for Us.
Ooh, we'll have to see that one.
The Night Comes for Us, I think it's got many of the same cast as the Raid movies, and it is brutal, extremely violent, almost cartoonish. It is insane, but it takes itself seriously. It's pretty intense.
We'll have to check that one out.
Excellent. But also, for people who don't know, we are huge Nicolas Cage fans. Like, unironically, like, we just genuinely love Nicolas Cage. We recently had a cat who passed, who we had named Castor Troy. We currently have 2 young cats named Cameron and Poe.
Wow. Dedication. Like I said, that's awesome. So what about you, M-Bags? How much would you be willing to pay to see No Time to Die comfy at home?
I'm such a fanboy. I'd probably maybe even pay that $50 to see it, as opposed to having to go out and go to the theater. So
yeah, because April. Okay, so that's 4 months away, but still, we're still not sure if the situation will be back to normal, quote unquote. So that's a potential problem. And also, if you
Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, most people basically have a theater at home anyway. Like, they got, the 55-inch flat screen you can be, 10 feet away from, or, whatever, in your room. And, nice, all the comforts of home, obviously, if you have a, you can have hot pockets.
We've all become accustomed to not wearing pants. You think we're going to put on pants to see a movie? Or do you think we're going to pay a little bit extra to watch a movie with no pants?
Yeah.
There's got to be like a pants premium inside the price of the ticket. That's a good point. And also, even if it costs, for example, $100 to see it on streaming, then you could always invite people over and with social distance and all that, and you can split the cost. That's an option.
Throw up a sheet or something in the backyard if you have a projector.
Yeah, sure. So why not?
Charging for parking? No, I don't know.
That sounds good. So apparently, not apparently, it's pretty much confirmed. I think this will be Daniel Craig's last movie as James Bond. And Bags, what do you think? Do you have any names in mind when it comes to the next James Bond?
For a while, it was other people and I were kind of thinking like maybe get Idris Elba in there. But I think at this point he'd be a little bit too old to play Bond. At this point, I think he might be even older than Daniel Craig.
I think he is right now. He's about my age. I think he's 48, I think.
Gentlemen, if...
yeah, 48. Yes, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was just going to say, if Roger Morris taught us anything, there's no such thing as too old to be James Bond.
I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, the James Bond movies back then, they were maybe less demanding physically. But it's still a valid point. I think, wasn't he like 58 when he did?
56 or 57 with one of our favorites, View to a Kill.
View to a Kill, yes.
I just remember he was old as Tanya Roberts' mom or something like that.
Jesus. Oh my, wow. Let's not go there, please. Who else has been mentioned? Tom Hardy?
Yeah, Tom Hardy's been mentioned. Like, I've heard people say Clive Owen, but I think he's kind of in the late 40s or whatever too. So people are kind of shying away from that.
And that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
But I think that rumor came from his movie Croupier, I think, right? When he was like a blackjack dealer or something.
Yeah. I was remembering that time.
Tom Hiddleston has been mentioned as well, I think.
Oh, Loki? Yeah,
but
let's get the little Hemsworth in there.
Yeah, little Liam Hemsworth. No.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so those are names, thrown around, but I honestly don't know if any of those are being seriously considered.
No. Last I heard, they were like trying to convince Tom Hardy it was a good idea to sign on, and I don't know. I think he's like still like, well, I can do whatever's offered to me and have a diverse profile, or I can be James Bond for the next 12 years. And
wait, guys, we're overlooking the obvious. We want somebody with a diverse career, who's British, who's willing to do some crazy stuff. Daniel Radcliffe. What the hell else is he
doing? Solid. But I mean, if you think about Tom Hardy, for example, in Inception, I think we got a little preview of what his James Bond would be.
No, yeah. He had little accent stuff, pulling guns out of thin air,
and fancy suit, being suave and like charming his way out of dodgy situations.
What's Hugh Jackman up to?
I'm sorry.
What's Hugh Jackman up to? Maybe we can get him. I know he's Aussie, but wait, isn't Tom Hardy too? No, he's British.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman, younger, would be probably be an interesting option.
Wait, what do you mean? He's still like 27, right?
Oh, no, yeah, that's true. Yeah, good call.
I mean, Swordfish was like 5 years ago, right?
Good call. So if we move to your personal preferences, and Bags, who would be your favorite James Bond and why?
I would say my favorite at the moment would be Daniel Craig, because he kind of has the toughness that Connery and them have, and he just kind of has that kind of physical presence, and he's also a really solid actor. Like the only thing that he might need to work on a little bit is the humor a little bit, because sometimes he kind of comes off as a little too stiff, but at least it's not like as over the top as Roger Moore was.
Yes, that's true. Steve and Easy, what do you think? Favorite James Bond? Okay, and I don't want to be rude, but I gotta ask you, how old are you guys?
Oh, I'm 35.
I'm 39? 39.
Okay, you don't sound so sure.
I had to think like, wait, when was my birthday? It's been a long year.
Yes, it has. But I'm asking that because I guess maybe your personal favorite would depend on who you grew up watching.
Yeah. Who was James Bond when you were 14? Yeah, that's
exactly.
And my option is definitely going to reflect that, but I'm going to justify it. I think personally, Pierce Brosnan is the best James Bond embodiment with the worst scripts given to him.
Yes.
Yeah. I would agree. And we got a preview of James Bond when Brosnan did Remington Steele.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted. I actually don't like Daniel Craig as James Bond because I just don't think he's charismatic enough. I don't think he's a bad actor, but we already have a Jason Bourne series. Why does Bond have to be Jason Bourne, guys? He's supposed to be like so smooth he doesn't have to fight his way out of every situation, but when he does fight his way out of the situation, he's fucking killing it.
That's true.
Guys,
That's true.
I'm going to throw this out there. My favorite James Bond is the only one with a 100% hit record, George Lazenby.
George Lazenby, yeah.
Really
I was going to talk about Lazenby later on, but your point is valid.
Yeah, I mean, he was only in the one movie on Her Majesty's Secret Service, but
Yes.
it's one of my definitely top 5, maybe even like third favorite James Bond movie.
Absolutely.
And it's just, I don't know, it was especially compared to like, you know, you got the Connery before and then the Roger Moore after. You know, Connery, of course, was amazing. You know, R.I.P., you know, but You Only Live Twice, that was problematic at some points.
Yeah.
Like I watched that for the first time, about a year and a half ago when we watched like them straight through. And I was like, whoa, are they really trying to say he's Japanese?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Different time.
In some ways, those movies don't age that well. That's true.
but you know, I usually take that into account too, where it's like, oh, okay, you know, late 60s or whatever, and it's like, whatever.
And I like some like sort of fantasy element to my Bonds. I like the ridiculous gadgets. I like the idea that there's a character that like everyone else in the entire world is in love with that particular character, whether it's a man or a woman, because there's plenty of women in the Bond universe where it's like, she's the most beautiful woman who's ever lived since Helen of Troy. And it's like, really? All right. Okay.
In the Daniel Craig ones, I loved the action stuff in the Daniel Craig ones. I mean, stories, you know, kind of all over the place sometimes, but when it's like Ava Green's on screen and it's like, oh my God, you know, this is the woman that's going to bring James Bond and, you know, set him straight. And then he's going to go on a vengeance spree for the next 4 movies. I'm like, but it's Ava Green. I mean, I don't know.
It's not, you know,
she's a fetching woman.
Bad. It's not bad at all.
but, you know, it's like, okay, Ava Green or Monica Bellucci. I think they were in like the same movie, right?
Right.
Different movies. Monica Bellucci was in Skyfall.
That's right. God damn it.
Yes.
I mean, who was it? Olga? No, that was Quantum of Solace.
Yes. Olga Kirilenko, I think.
That's Skyfall.
And Bags, what do you think of Lazenby?
Oh, I love On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I've watched the first 10 films recently, and that is like one of the best Bond movies ever, along with From Russia with Love.
I'm also pro Lazenby, and I think it was a bit unfortunate that he did only one, but maybe that adds to the mystique a little bit, like to the legend almost, you know.
Yeah.
The cult of Lazenby or something.
If Lazenby had stuck around for, you know, Moonraker, would he still have the same the same or whatever? Or it's like, oh no, he did it once and then he didn't want to do it again and went off to, I don't know, be an underwear model or something. Pop up in Australian movies here and there, you know. But,
what's the documentary I saw a few last year?
Was it Nothing? What do you think of the Lazenby one?
Yeah, Becoming Bond. Or okay, I remember it being good. Have you guys watched it?
Oh, I've seen it. It's good.
Okay. So then it means that you guys are pro On Her Majesty's Secret Service as well. I mean, sometimes you can get a good, like you said, you can get a good Bond with a shitty script like Brosnan. We haven't talked about him, but Timothy Dalton, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yeah, yes. So then I'm guessing that your least favorite Bond would be Bags. Who is it?
He has a couple of really good Bond films, but unfortunately, it kind of has to go to Roger Moore for me.
It was I mean, I liked him because he was in The Saint before, and I kind of remember him from that as well. But I think his later movies got too goofy.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think it was like Diamonds Are Forever is when it started kind of going downhill quickly as far as like the scripts and everything, and or just kind of doing the same script over and over again. But it's like, no, now the secret base is on the moon, or the secret base is underwater, or whatever Octopussy was. I don't remember much about that one. I'm not gonna lie. I know that's like my wife's one she grew up with. She had
That's
a
the one
copy
I'd
of it.
seen the most. We didn't have a copy of it, but it was the one that was always on TV when I was tuning in, because one of the channels where I grew up used to run all of the James Bonds for like a month straight, just back to back, and play them over and over and over again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gee, that's awesome.
And the one VHS I had growing up was A View to a Kill, so obviously that's the best James Bond there's ever been.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, guys. Steve has argued it with me to the point where I'm beginning to believe him. As I mentioned on another podcast, whether you like it or not, View to a Kill is the essential oil of James Bond films. It is every single James Bond film crammed into that one James Bond film. It has every trope. It has, let's face it, the best song.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I love Duran Duran. So I'm on board with that.
You always think it's weird that a 40-something James Bond is going out with a 20-year-old. What about a 50-something James Bond? You want a crazy mastermind billionaire who wants to take over, I don't know, the microchip market by, I don't know, flooding a state?
Silicon Valley, yeah.
Oh, by the way, did we mention he's on steroids? Yep, there's that too. What about his sidekick? It's Grace Jones.
Genetically enhanced Grace Jones.
Yeah. And about that bad guy, did we mention that it was Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, that was
what was it? The first Academy Award winner to be in a James Bond movie?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they've
know
had a
that.
couple since then, but yeah, I just remember like he was the first.
Wow. All right. Okay.
It doesn't have to be your favorite James Bond, but unfortunately, facts don't lie in. It is probably the most James Bond of all the James Bond movies.
Yeah, probably. And I remember the one VHS we had of a James Bond movie was For Your Eyes Only. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. They go to Greece and they get underwater and they get attacked by another mini submarine. That one, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. And I remember.
Was that it, or was I thinking Octopussy again? Because I remember like a couple of them. There's like the big underwater fight scenes, so it's like
okay. I don't remember Octopussy that way, but something else jumped into my mind. In For Your Eyes Only on our VHS, when the second submarine explodes, I remember that the tape went bad for some reason at the time. So we got the beginning of the explosion, and then it comes back to normal after that. So I never got to see the actual entire explosion.
Oh.
Yeah, I missed out. Shit. So you guys, is there anything about the James Bond universe that appealed to you mostly, or it was just like it's the most successful movie franchise, I suppose?
I mean, it really kind of. I mean, it spanned what 50, almost 60 years now.
Yeah, true.
It's always incredible to me when I think about it too, where it's like, oh yeah, these are like my grandpa's favorite movies when I was a kid, and he obviously was a big Sean Connery guy because that's when he was 14, that's who James Bond was, and like for me, it's Pierce Brosnan. And it's like I'll watch Goldeneye like right now. I don't care. Like maybe not die another day, but I can at least pretend to like certain parts of it.
Yeah. And Bags, I have a question for you. You mentioned to me yesterday that you read the books as well.
Yes, that's correct.
All of them?
Yes, I've read all of the Ian Fleming books, and there was an author in the 80s that did James Bond books as well, named John Gardner. I read most of his. There was also one in the 90s called by Raymond Benson. And I think I read all of those, and there's still James Bond novels being made by other authors today.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I thought it ended with Fleming dying. Okay. What year did he die?
1964.
Jesus. This might be like a rookie question, but do you know if he ever got the chance to see Dr. No?
Yes, he got to see both Dr. No and From Russia with Love. He was alive during the filming of Goldfinger, but he did not get to see it completed.
And what did he think of the ones he saw?
I think he really liked them at the time. One of his choices to play Bond, actually before Sean Connery, was Roger Moore.
Oh, okay. Nice. And in your opinion, how close should they stick to the source material, especially now that that material is getting old? Like, I guess it's part of the social climate, quote unquote, to be more more inclusive and more diverse. Like I mean, we both remember it was a scandal when Daniel Craig was cast because he wasn't because he was blonde.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember.
So things have changed for the best. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and you have to keep in mind. I mean, the Fleming books and all that. They're written back during like the Cold War and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like almost all the themes and stuff. I mean, M-Bags, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're like around like Russia being the bad guys. Maybe occasionally China, like the communist bad and all that. Whereas I kind of like how like the Daniel Craig ones, like it's not really like nations that are threatening the world. It's basically like the Illuminati, was it Spectre or whatever.
Spectre, yes.
But it's an interesting little twist on it where it still can like adapt to whatever that time frame is, but it's still MI6. It's still protecting Queen and country. Even though I guess a lot of the movies now are like vengeance based, which
that's true.
Which is also character development and that aspect and stuff. But it's I'm excited to see what happens with No Time to Die, because I don't know, what do you gentlemen think about Casino Royale 1967? Have you guys seen that?
I might have seen parts of it a long time ago, but I can't really comment on it. I wouldn't know.
I have, I guess, if you want to see Peter Sellers as James Bond and Woody Allen as James Bond and the Elephant as James Bond and David Niven as James Bond. That's
and a couple Bond of seals and some
5 sea lions,
and,
a monkey that lives in the grate.
Yeah. But okay, as horrible as that movie really is. Well, I mean, you get Orson Welles doing magic tricks, so I mean, there is that to look forward to.
It is worth that scene alone, guys. And apparently, that was improv. Not really improv, but he wouldn't do the movie if he couldn't do magic during it.
Yeah, but
Jesus.
But the whole idea within that movie is that James Bond isn't one person. It's basically like the Dread Pirate Roberts, in Princess Bride. It's like, no, it's the identity. And then, the new agent steps in under the persona James Bond. And so everyone's always like, oh yeah, it's, a blonde guy that looks like Daniel Craig. It's like, oh no, wait, no. Now the real secret agent is, two seals with a ball, or I don't know. But literally anybody else, like Tom Hardy or Idris Elba or oh my gosh, I completely blanked on the actress name that's supposed to be
Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Steve, I get it. You want Will Wheaton to be James Bond.
You know damn well I want Charlize Theron to be the new James Bond.
Right, that's true. It's true.
That's such a good shout. That would be, if you were going to have a female James Bond, it would be a really good choice. Charlize Theron, yes, for sure. But that question about books brought another question to mind. And Bax, do you know if the recent movies, the recent Daniel Craig movies, except Casino Royale, were they based on previous books or later books?
Just Quantum of Solace was named after a short story that was in the For Your Eyes Only short stories collection. But other than that, there's really no story elements from the Fleming novels at this point. It's just pretty much new stories.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And then with the new Bond, whoever it may be coming in and stuff too, like I've got theories about this No Time to Die. Some of which are kind of crazy, but
please go ahead.
Okay, so from what I've seen, Ren, I saw a trailer a year ago, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Rami Malek is the bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Academy Award winner Rami Malek, and he's basically the Phantom of the Opera, like has like the little mask and everything.
Oh yeah, I think parts of his face was fucked up by for some reason.
And I swear he had like the little like the Family Opera mask, before it was like cracked or whatever, just kind of covering, when he's giving his ominous things or whatever. I mean, I kind of think originally his plot was to spread a virus across the world, and that's why they're like, oh, we got to push this back now. We got to let's make it nuclear weapons or something. So they're
reshoot,
doing all that. Right? Oh, this may not work out well. Ugh. But I think originally what he was supposed to be revealed as was the love child of Zoran and Mayday from A View to a Kill. And you may think, Steve, that's fucking stupid. Hear me out. They did talk to Grace Jones about coming back for No Time to Die.
Yep.
And she apparently, her publicist said apparently she said no. I'm thinking it's because she's Grace Jones, and they're like, we don't want to deal with her on set.
What?
Legendarily easy to work with, from what I understand. Definitely not involved with like biting or hurting other actors and actresses.
She definitely didn't pull a dildo on James Bond.
Yeah, well,
that's right. She's the only Bond girl to fuck James Bond.
Yeah. But if you think about it, I mean, okay, with the genetic experiments with Zoran and Mayday or whatever. Did we see her get blown up at the end of You Do a Kill?
We saw an explosion, maybe she, but we don't have a body.
Got a little blast. She has like the Wolverine basically healing ability.
True.
Did we see Max Shrek? Oh yeah, he fell off the Golden Gate Bridge. People survive that all the time, B.
Max Zorin, not Max Shrek.
Yes. Same actor. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Same actor. Yeah, absolutely.
But we're just saying, like, then they get spin off, and then we have the cameo from Grace Jones and Christopher Walken. But it's they're, and I mean, if you think about kind of a mix between them, Rami Malek might kind of be in there. I don't know, but we'll see when it comes out for $50 streaming in April.
So okay, I gotta ask you, who else did you tell this theory about?
Our podcast.
Yeah,
what was the one we ran the James Bond competition?
Movie Date Night podcast. We kind of discussed it on there a little bit, but
we ran like a straight up James Bond off, where you earned points for basically backing a movie. And of course, we picked View to a Kill and creamed everybody.
Nice. But I'm curious about what was the reaction to that theory. Did most people tell you, come on, stop fucking around?
They mostly just let it, that's ridiculous. And it's like, well, all right, you just wait 2 years when they release it, and
with 50% new scenes.
That's why we've said it on several podcasts. Cover all of our bases. Make sure it's known.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Now that you mentioned it, okay, it's out there, but who knows? Who knows? I wanted to ask you guys, Bags, what did you think of? I'm still undecided, to be honest, about that movie. What did you think of Spectre?
I kind of saw that in a weird situation. Like I went to it with a friend who had a girlfriend at the time, and they got like into a very huge argument before we went. So everybody was kind of on edge when we went and saw the movie. But I enjoyed it at the time, but there was some stuff I didn't like about it. Just kind of the way that they got Blofeld into there, and now he's like James Bond's brother. Like, I still don't really know how to take that.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I was hoping you guys would be able to clarify for me. So it's like, wait, there were brothers, but they forgot they lived together? Or
they totally forgot about each other growing up.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, head trauma? Is that what we're going to blame it on? Like amnesia for James Bond? Like, no, they didn't even go into that. It was just like, yeah, remember we grew up together and all that? And you just got like, oh, shit, that's right. You were that guy.
Remember we were children?
But I'm not sure, but I don't know if they retconned it, but didn't James Bond go very young away to a boarding school or something after his parents died? And then maybe I know it sounds ridiculous, but he was maybe so young that, was it his half-brother or his actual brother? Do you guys remember?
I don't remember. I'm not going to lie. I kind of stopped caring. Like, it was
I
like,
mean,
remember how I used to be your partner? It turns out I'm actually your brother. And I'm like, all right, I'm out. It's a Fast and Furious drama.
yeah, good,
We thought you were dead, but it was amnesia instead.
good shout. I mean, I didn't hate that movie. I kind of liked it, but not more. And it didn't. I don't know. I cannot explain it, but it didn't feel like a Bond movie, really.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Christoph Waltz is amazing, but he wasn't like
He wasn't utilized correctly.
Yeah,
he's an amazing actor, and you could have gotten so much more out of him.
He was even more reserved in that movie than he was in like Inglourious Bastards and stuff like that. Like it's cool to be reserved, but it's still like you still have to have like a little. I don't know. Anger. I mean, it's him being Blofeld and so cool, and like on the surface, like he's just like, oh yeah, this is how it's going to be, and it's because I'm already 5 steps ahead of you and all that. Like, okay, I get that, but still, like in the final fight and stuff, it's like I don't know. You kind of break from that a little. I don't know. I mean, great action. Dave Bautista being in there as
That's true.
what's this character's name? I forget. It's like Hobbs or something. I don't know. But
I don't think he said. I mean, I think he says one single word for the entire movie, and I think that word was shit just before he gets, hooked away from inside the train or something. I don't know. Maybe I should give it another watch, but.
Yeah, I mean, we've watched it twice, and it's like okay, it's still okay, but it's just that the weird like family brother like that being kind of pushed in there so much, like oh, could you kill your own brother and blah blah blah. It's like bitch, I don't even know you. I don't know.
Or if I do know you, why didn't I remember it before?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like they didn't even need to make him his brother. Like it could have been Blofeld as the usual bad guy. I don't know.
Unfortunately, since Empire Strikes Back, everything has to be a family reveal when it's no, I'm your father. And, no.
That's one thing that in Star Wars that drives me crazy. It's like we are talking about planets and universes, and solar systems, billions and billions of people, but it's like a tiny village because we always see the same 10 people. I
know it's ridiculous that everybody in Bond is part of the same family. That being said, Remy Malek is the offspring of Zoran and Mayday.
Okay. Noted.
Hey, was it the 6 degrees of separation? Yeah. Everybody in the entire universe by 6 people. It's because they're all related to the same 6 people in Star Wars.
Yeah. We only need Kevin Bacon now, and we're good to go.
Dude, if you got Kevin Bacon in a Star Wars movie, you would destroy the fabric of time.
Well, now it's like 3 degrees of separation. Because
Kevin would lose their mind.
Right? Now Kevin Bacon is a Disney princess.
So I have a kind of a quiz in mind, if that's okay. But first, I would like to ask you, what would be, Bags, what would be your top 3 James Bond movies?
I would say number 1 would be From Russia with Love.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 would be Casino Royale, the 2006 version with Daniel Craig.
Okay.
Number 3 would be License to Kill.
Ooh, nice. That's one of my faves too.
Really? Okay, that's interesting because I haven't seen that one in a while, but I didn't think it was Robert Davi was the drug dealer, I think. I didn't think it was very Bond-esque as a scheme, drug dealer. There are plenty of those to go around, so why that? Am I crazy, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean,
but he's the best drug dealer.
That's right. He's number one.
Okay. Well,
it was the 80s. It was the war on drugs. The James Bond movies adapt to their time.
True. With a very young Benicio del Toro, I think.
Oh yeah, he was like 16 or something. Like yes,
he looked like 16. What about you guys? What's your top 3?
That's yours, babe.
Steve, you want to go first?
Let's see. My top 3. I gotta go with Honor Majesty's Secret Service. That's going to be up there. Judgment. Thank you, babe.
What?
Probably GoldenEye, and I everyone's gonna hate me. I gotta go with A View to a Kill. I mean,
Nice.
Goldfinger, Dr. No, they're all great and stuff, but I got to go with the ones where it's like, hey, you want to watch a James Bond movie? Yeah, which one? Yeah, one of those three probably. But yeah, License to Kill's up there. Yeah, Goldfinger. Casino Royale is hella fun. Skyfall's really good until you realize it's about a blonde Mexican trying to kill an old lady.
We enjoyed it
everything
until
else
we
about
heard
it,
it broken down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the first time I've heard that movie described that way, and you're spot on, actually. So good shout. Well done.
Spoiler stolen from Dana Gould. Follow the Dana Gould
Oh,
hour.
okay. Okay. Well, imitation is the best form of flattery. So, that's your tribute to him.
There
right?
we go. Yes.
You got your three, babe?
Let's say that. All right, so we can try a quiz. Like first person who answers, just say your name, and we can throw questions around if that's okay with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so first part, 10 questions about the books, James Bond books. I forgot to ask you, Steve and Izzy, have you read those books?
No.
Any of them?
I don't believe in reading.
Okay.
Why do I need to read the book? They made a movie, right? No, I was kidding.
Did you vote for Trump?
No.
Okay,
Oh,
just
no.
checking.
Oh, no.
There are other stupid people too. No, I was kidding.
No politics here.
No.
All right. So book questions. Number 1, in what year was Casino Royale, the first Bond book, published?
Michael.
Mm-hmm.
1953.
Yes, that's correct. All right, so one point. Well done.
To contest that, he didn't use his real name, M Bags.
Oh, that's a nickname. Yeah. Okay, good point. Good point. Yeah, because you do use M Bags in the Name That Tune, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, good shout. Good shout. Okay, number 2. How many cigarettes had Bond smoked by the end of the first day in that book?
Steve, 3.
Okay, a bit more than that. That's a very specific question, and it's super difficult. And I didn't come up with it, so that's my disclaimer. Any idea, Bags?
I'm going to say 27.
The answer is 70.
70?
Yeah.
That's one more than 69.
Yeah, nice. Oh, high five. All right. Number 3, which school or schools did James Bond attend in the books?
Steve, Oxford?
Good call, but good guess, but no. And Bags, any idea?
I'm going to say Eton.
Yes, that's it. Eton College and Fettes, Fettes, Edinburgh. Same school as Tony Blair.
Oh.
Apparently, Tony Blair, yes. Okay, so number 4. What was the name of the estate where Ian Fleming wrote the Bond books?
M Bags.
Yes.
GoldenEye.
Yes, that's correct. I didn't know that. I guess that's where he got the name for the movie eventually, I suppose.
Yeah. Sting wrote the lyrics to Every Breath You Take at that estate when
really?
they were making Synchronicity at the time.
Oh, okay. Wow. I had no idea. Number 5, in which book was Bond, quote unquote, killed?
Steve, you only live twice.
That's in the movie, but not the book.
Bags.
Yes.
It was From Russia with Love. He actually gets hit by the poisoned shoe and that. So they thought he was dead at that point.
Oh, okay. And so the expand on the answer here, From Russia with Love, so good answer. He was brought back to life for the next book, which was Dr. No. Yeah, because you were just staring at me and not saying anything. So, did I fuck up? Okay, so question number 6. What was the name of the woman Bond married?
Oh, Diane Ladd.
I think
Princess of Portugal.
That's Diana Rigg.
Diana Rigg, yeah.
Diana Ladd was someone else.
Yeah, that's right.
I think.
That's right. She was about 20 years old.
But I think it's the same name in the movie, actually.
God, what was
Is he Teresa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Teresa Di Vincenzo, known as Tracy. But yeah, that works. Well done. So, yay. Question number 7. How did James Bond's parents die?
M-Bags?
Steve.
Oh, and bags by a split second. Go ahead.
Say a skiing accident.
Yep.
Not quite. A climbing accident.
They were climbing to ski, though. So
yes, they were climbing up the mountain to ski.
They had the skis on their back. They thought it was a parachute.
Exactly. And they never made it. Okay, so question number 8. Which book did the actual James Bond write? He was a bird.
Steve.
Yes.
The Audubon's bird catalog of birds or something like that.
Yeah, that's close enough. It was Field Guide to Birds of the West Indies by the original James Bond, an ornithologist. Yes, so yeah, that's it. Okay, number 9. Well, actually, we talked about that earlier today. How old was Ian Fleming when he died?
Steve, 69.
Nope.
Izzy, old enough to know better.
Nope. Yes.
I'm going to say 56.
Yes, that's correct. Okay. Question 10 about the books. Which children's book did he write? Ian Fleming.
M-Bags.
Yes.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yes, that's correct. I didn't know that. I know nothing about that book. Can you tell us more about it, M-Bags?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Yeah. I haven't seen the film, but I know a bunch of people that worked on the Bond films are involved in that film as well.
Okay.
It's darker than the movie. I'm just gonna take a stab in the dark on that one.
Possible, yeah. I got a series of questions about the film adaptations. Okay, question 1. Who was the first person to portray James Bond on screen?
Steve.
Yes.
David Niven.
Good shout, but no.
M-Bags.
Yes.
Barry Nelson.
That's correct. Yes.
Oh, that's right. There was the TV movie or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. TV adaptation of Casino Royale in which Bond is American and for which Ian Fleming was paid $1,000. So there you go. Question number 2. How much was Sean Connery paid the first time he portrayed Bond?
Steve, a case of whiskey.
Maybe. Go ahead, M-Bags.
I'll say $25,000.
20,000 pounds. So
5,000 US. I'll allow it.
Close enough. Question number 3. How much for the last time he played Bond? Connery. Yes.
£1 million.
More than that. It was for Never Say Never Again.
Oh, that's right.
5 million. Yeah. 5 million pounds, yes.
Sounds right.
What was the year of Never Say Never Again?
1983.
Yeah, okay. All right. Which is the only film series to have grossed more money than the James Bond one?
Steve, Star Wars.
I just realized that might be the case, and because I don't know how old that quiz is, but the answer that they gave was Harry Potter.
Oh, you know what? You might be right there. Well, it's probably close. But yeah,
makes sense. And it also says, allowing for inflation, Bond is still ahead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because No Time to Die will be movie number 25, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so question 5. Which painting is featured in both Skyfall and Mr. Turner? I don't know what Mr. Turner is.
I'm trying to remember Skyfall if there were any paintings, but
okay, I can tell you what painting it was. It was when Bond meets Ben Whishaw at the National Gallery.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like a Rembrandt or something, right?
It says the name of the painting is The Fighting Téméraire by Turner. Yeah, I don't know I don't have anything to add to that. So, sorry.
The Portrait of Dorian Gray. No, I don't know.
Yes. question 6. Where was the skyscraper fight scene filmed? In Skyfall?
It wasn't Taipei. Steve, Macau.
Yes, the scene is set in Macau, but it was filmed at Broadgate Tower, apparently. It must have been in, I guess it is. That's in London, I suppose. I don't know. Broadgate Tower, Bishopsgate, whatever that is. Okay, so question number 7. Who played Bond more often, Sean Connery or Roger Moore?
Izzy.
Yes.
Roger Moore.
The same, actually. The same number, 7. Although the last Connery film was the unofficial Never Say Never Again. So, Roger Moore, I guess, is the correct answer. 7-6. Okay, so question 8. There are only 3 more, so hanging there. The questions about the movies are not that great, I think, but hanging there. Question 8. Who has portrayed both James Bond and a Bond villain? You got to think about radio adaptations or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know the answer.
David Niven.
Good shout, but nope, that's not it.
I'll guess Timothy Dalton.
Also a good guess, but no, it's Toby Stevens as 007 on BBC Radio 4's Bond adaptations and as Gustav Graves in Die Another Day.
Wow, okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, so next to last question. How old... we mentioned that, I think, earlier. How old was Roger Moore when he last played Bond?
57 or something?
58. In A View to a Kill, yes. And last question. What does Spectre stand for?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Society for... Oh, God, yeah. I remember terrorism's the T. Racketeering and...
No, it's not, actually. I thought it was, but it's not.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea. I'm not even going to try.
No, I don't even know if they mentioned that in the movie, actually. Maybe...
I swear they did in one of the like... I think it was like one of the early Roger Moore ones. They like, oh yes, the Society for the Perpetual Enlightenment of Counterterrorism, Terrorism, Racketeering, and Espionage or something like that. But I don't know. I might be just making stuff up from Casino Royale 67.
Bags, any guesses?
Steve sounds the closest to me.
So it was Special Executive for Counterintelligence and Extortion.
Yeah, that was pretty close.
So, there you go.
For not having a single word right, I think I was pretty
I remember one of the quizzes online, and I remember one question that stood out for some reason. Do you guys know the original title for License to Kill?
I do. It was License Revoked.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so I just found that quiz. Okay, one more question. One more, and then I'll leave you guys alone. What is the shortest James Bond film?
Oh, is it Quantum of Solace?
Nice. Well done. That's correct.
I remember it was like just under 2 hours or something like that. I was like, oh, wow, is that the shortest?
Yeah. 106 minutes. So what? 1 hour 46.
Also, really hated it when I first watched it. Watched it again. Still questioned its actual existence. Like nothing happened in it. I mean, except for the big explosion at the end. It was just like, oh no, there's a guy above him. Okay, well, then the last 2 hours was wasted. Sorry, Olga Kurylenko, you're in the least relevant James Bond movie.
That's true, isn't it? Like she wanted to kill that general, and then like it got muddled. Like
it's something like they go after the accountant. And she has the one general who wants to kill or whatever, but then they get the accountant. It's like, I'm not actually the accountant, it's this other guy. And it's like, oh no, the princess is in the next castle.
Yeah. And with the henchman deserving of the Oscar for the worst haircut ever. I was like, what the fuck is this? I mean, come on. Like, is this a parody? You know?
Trying to be distinctive, you know?
That was brutal. And what was his name? Dominic Green, the bad guy.
Yeah.
Mathieu Almaric, I think his name is. Usually he's a great actor.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it was good acting and everything. It was just, again, I think the I don't know. For me personally, it was like I don't know. There wasn't memorable things about it. And yeah, with the thing at the end kind of being, yeah, it's not even me, it's somebody else. And it's like, oh, fuck. And then everything explodes. And it's like, all right, well, tune in next time to see if James Bond really finds the next person in Skyfall. You know?
Yeah,
but I was there.
It wasn't bad, but I remember being disappointed for sure.
Yeah, one thing I kind of don't like about the Daniel Craig Bond films is that they kind of keep continuing. I just kind of like the idea of separate stories like the older ones were. Mm-hmm. So you kind of get into kind of script pitfalls when you do that continuing story. I think that's how we ended up at Spectre, and that's why kind of Quantum of Solace is a little weak.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, we talked about this. Like they shoehorned Blofeld in Spectre, and he wasn't even needed. You know, I think they could have had a solid movie. I mean, yeah, Blofeld deserved to be there, but like the brother thing, that was out of nowhere and not needed. I think.
Yeah,
they did that to add some kind of, I don't know, like a personal conflict or.
Well, and then we're gonna find out No Time to Die. James Bond lives on just through different people. Blofeld lives on just through other actors and, you know, people taking over the reins. When one is taken out, the other head pops up and like, nope, I'm Blofeld now.
Yeah.
That's when Nicolas Cage becomes Blofeld.
Of course. You solved the puzzle.
The first movie to make $1 billion after COVID is Die for a Nicolas Cage cameo. Anyway.
Yeah, he can buy his own castle now. All right, so yeah, that was it for me. I gotta thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And can you remind us where we can find you?
Yeah, we're on all your favorite podcatchers under Everything I Learned from Movies. Of course, you can hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at EILF Movies. That's Everything I Learned from Movies. Babe, are you on social media at all?
I am. You can find me everywhere at Untidy Venus. I am a goddess who's bad at housekeeping. I also like to do a bunch of art in that. You can find me on the Instagram, the Twitter, the Etsy, all of that stuff.
Awesome. And what about you, M-Bags?
Mine is not as elaborate as that. I'm on Twitter at Michael Bagford and on Instagram at Bagford Michael, and I appear on a bunch of podcasts, including Everything I Learned from Movies. So if you want to hear me talk about a really bad Nicolas Cage film called Trespass with them, it's on there.
Yeah. Oh my God. That movie's amazing.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you, everyone. And we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.